Hey, welcome back to the Citystead, everyone. I am Josh. I am the guy who runs all of this stuff we got going on here. I'm a little out of breath. I just had to run in because I was outside planting some stuff and then it just started raining a little bit. You can hear it on the greenhouse. Let me get you all wet. Yeah, it's coming down all right now. So we're early in the season. I'm getting stuff planted out in the garden. I was transplanting some of these starts that we did for us. Kind of a cooler weather stuff. I'm still not putting out my really hot weather stuff yet, but I'm doing a little cool weather stuff. And I thought, with this little break that we got to take now because of the rain, that maybe I would share a little tip with you guys on something I do for my garden markers.
Yeah, it was fun to think about these real quick. So real quick tag video, I have stuff to do out here. God bless great time in America. God bless you wherever you're around the world, your garden, your heart.
So we get a lot of questions about the garden markers that we use. A lot of people notice them in the videos when we're planting stuff out, writing tags and all that. And a lot of you guys ask about them. Now, the majority of what we use is actually just stuff we bought at Home Depot. You can probably get it at any hardware store, probably even like your Walmart, your Target, Meijer. I don't know what else you guys got. Piggly Wigglies? I don't know. Does Piggly Wigglies sell stuff like Walmart does? But they're just these simple little bamboo sticks, and I love them so much. They're like a nice light color, so you can write anything on them with any color marker. Usually I use a permanent marker of sorts. I got like a CD marker. That one works really nice actually. So if you can find a CD marker, I recommend that one. Or like a midpoint Sharpie. Not like the fat Sharpie, but not like a pencil Sharpie. Kind of the midpoint Sharpie's the best. If you look at the tip wise. Oh, let's take these caps off. Whew. So you can see that CD marker one right here actually has a skinnier tip, so it writes a little finer. The regular Sharpie, you know, has got a big old fat tip. But I don't like the pencil one because it's so thin it's hard to see. So that's like the perfect one, these CD markers. If you can find something in between, I recommend that to write because it's the best. But anyways, we use these mostly. This is what we have had a lot of. And they're really cheap at Home Depot. It's $2.99 for, I think it's 25 in a pack or something like that. So it's pretty reasonably priced. And then recently, and these have become E's favorite, is that off of Amazon, and I'll link it down below, we found these nice little bamboo sticks, and they're actually a little bit better made quality wise. They're bigger, so you can see they're a little bit thicker there, which is nice because they hold up a little bit better. These combines can break and stuff if you step on them. These should hold up a little bit better, but the biggest thing is they have a different surface area for writing on, right? So this one you got to write like in a vertical line there, or what you're gonna do, like that. Whereas these little stake ones, you can just hold it up like that and perfect. You'll be able to read them real quick. So, interesting enough, these are becoming a favorite now. And they weren't that much either. It was $15 for like 100 of them. So actually I think cost-wise they're probably better. But anyways, what I was gonna say is that we write on these with these markers and put them out, and they're great for like a week or two. And you can see this is kind of how they work in different stages, right? So it's a little bit faded. This one's starting to get a lot more worn out. And then you get some that are like this. We're starting to get really weathered here. And then you got stuff like this. And you can barely even read what that is anymore. This was actually blue lake kale? Blue something kale. So I was thinking about this and how it's annoying that you can't read them by the end of the season. Usually it's just hard to read them, and we use these a lot because we do grow a lot of the same things over and over. So in my mind, I'm turning gears. What can I do to make the situation better? And that's when it hit me. Looking through my cabinet, I came across a little bit of clear coat paint, and I thought, you know, if I was to just spray a little bit of this over top of that writing, it would seal it in, it would seal that wood, and I wouldn't have to worry about it getting all messed up like that and rotting and fading and just getting dirt from handling just the rain coming down like now. kicking dirt up and splashing it on there, you know, it just gets it dirty and gets it to the point where it's really hard to read. So today I'm gonna take the ones that we just made and I'm gonna spray this little clear coat over top of them, and then we're gonna set them out in the garden and we're gonna see how well they do. Now, because of the clear coat, we'll be able to read it still, no problem. And it is gonna make those sticks last for a very long time, because like most wood, as long as you seal it, it will last a very long time. That's why most things are painted when they're outside, you know, just to seal it, make it a little more weather resistant. So I should mention to make sure your ink dries. I didn't do that. I just literally wrote these out and then started doing this. So we'll just let this sit and dry for a little while. In the greenhouse, it shouldn't take too long. You know, obviously we don't want to do it outside when it's raining, but that would be the ideal place to do it. I'm gonna have a little bit of fume in here, but we got enough airflow. It's right by the door. We'll be safe. So you might be thinking, oh Josh, you can't put paint in the ground, that's gonna be terrible. And I do agree with you, like, I don't think that's the best ideal. Now, I will fully admit that spraying those things with paint and then stick them in the soil is probably not the most ideal thing, right? Like, you know, we're gonna feel a little bit leery about putting anything with paint-wise in the soil, just from the chemicals that's inside of that. But we're just doing a little coat on those sticks. They're gonna stick in there a little bit. I already live in the city, so there's a good chance I got all sorts of stuff going on where I am. If you're out in the country, maybe you want to find something a little different, but I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's gonna seep into the soil and do that much damage or anything. I mean, hopefully when it comes to the soil, I've built a good enough soil with its own microbes and all that, that if we get a little bit of that seep into the soil, it'll take care of it for me. Mushrooms are an amazing thing, and what they can do, and mycelium, just incredible. In fact, I plugged this before, but I'm gonna link it again because I loved it so much. There was a Joe the Gardener podcast episode all about mushrooms, and it was amazing. It blew my mind on some of the stuff they were talking about. Mushrooms breaking down plastic and stuff. Like, it was crazy. So I'm gonna link that down below because I think everyone should listen to it. And that's kind of like what I hope will combat anything that this paint, if it leaks any kind of chemicals into my soil. I'm hoping my mycelium and the mushrooms that will grow in our soil because of the wood chips and all that other stuff, the things that we're growing in our soil, a live living soil, that'll be enough to combat any bit of seepage we get at all, if any, from that little bit of paint that's going to be on that marker. So hopefully that dusting of clear coat across the top of it will make it look less like this at the end of the year and a little more like this. All right, there we go. The markers are all dried and ready to use, and this is gonna be nice. We're gonna be able to use these over and over again, and at the end of the season, we'll actually be able to read what they say. That way we can remember exactly where we put everything. All right, well, you guys know how it is. Just because there's a little bit of rain, it don't mean the gardening's gonna stop. Remember guys, be bold and grow bold. And as always, I'll see you guys in that very next video. Stay dry.